Greetings everyone, welcome back to my little jungle office, and this is my post ayahuasca update, ceremony 2. 3 sleeps later, I feel complete again. It seems to be taking me sort of 3 sleeps to regain all the pieces of myself and feel fully rested enough to give you an update today. I'm feeling doubly spiritual today. That's why I've got 2 necklaces on. So yeah, Friday night was another big ceremony, but it wasn't quite as wild as the first one. We held it in a beautiful space. I did another video on my Instagram. We had to hike. We got a taxi to the outside of the local town, Makoa, and then we did a hike for about 45 minutes uphill to a beautiful spot in the jungle. A couple who are close friends with Kim and Enrico, who run this retreat here. They've got this beautiful space that they've built in the jungle. It's very simplistic. It was incredible to be surrounded by nature. It was a beautiful sunset that night as well. We were super hot and sweaty by the time we got up to the space. Grabbed a shower. The shower was like opening out into the jungle. It was beautiful. Really great start to the moment. Yeah, so moving on to the ceremony. I'd had that big process about self-acceptance earlier in the week. The previous ceremony had been a very physical, challenging clearing ceremony, so I was kind of going into this really not knowing what to expect, just to be a humble student of the medicine and to receive whatever I needed to. And I felt like now I'd got this kind of self-acceptance piece, I felt like maybe the medicine was going to take me to the next level. Not so soon. So the first drink that I had actually was very light. Spent most of the night in the hammock actually. It was also my first ayahuasca ceremony where we've not had buckets. So if anyone's been on an ayahuasca retreat, you usually have a bucket next to your bed so that you can purge into it when that kind of lightning purge comes up. But we didn't have those luxuries, so whenever you needed to purge, you had to make your way to the side of the Maloka and purge out into the jungle. I was lucky enough, I also had a space on the floor that was on the edge of a platform, so I could kind of crawl to the edge of the platform and purge over the edge of that. So it was good. It was nice to do ayahuasca in a more wild environment. Been on many retreats that cater to the Western comforts of doing these things, and when you drink medicine with sort of indigenous people, local people, there's an honor and there's a respect and a reverence towards the medicine, but there is less of the comfort and more of just being there, being in community, getting on with it, dealing with whatever's coming your way, and I guess not taking stuff so seriously. In the West we really get pandered to our comforts, and I think it's important, like when you go on a retreat, especially if you've not drunk ayahuasca before, to be somewhere that gives you a bit maybe more of that comfort to help ease that experience. But I think now I've experienced a lot of plant medicine. It's been really great just to do it in a more wild, rawer environment. And I think it brings about a lot more inner strength, right, when you put into those scenarios. Anyway, I had my first drink. It was very light. Not much came through, but I really felt like over this ceremony my whole body was sort of sedated quite a lot by the medicine. Really put me into a very relaxed state. I went up and had some rapé at some point after the first drink, a couple of hours after the first drink. I sat down this time to take the rapé so that I wouldn't faint, but actually it was fine. Went back to my bed, but it was a really strong rapé actually. It's the rapé I've been using recently called Jarima. And the rapé was really strong, and it brought on a big purge about 10 minutes later for me. So I purged, relaxed, listened to some music, sat by the fire, thought about a few things. Again, not a huge amount came through. It was quite light in terms of the medicine where it was taking me to in terms of the overall kind of the chamado, the drunkenness that you feel on the medicine. It wasn't as deep as the previous week, but the first drink is always a little bit more like that. I've noticed the last two ceremonies. So anyway, went up for the second drink, got back in the hammock, took me much deeper into the medicine, visions coming on, and like I said, more of this very sedated state it put me under. So relaxed at one point, I couldn't move. And again, not huge amounts of realizations were coming through at that point. And then the medicine got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I knew it was going to be time to purge pretty soon. So got myself to the edge of the Maloka, purged, and came back, lay on the floor, and then the contemplations really started for me at that point. As I was coming out of this this kind of very deep sedated state in the medicine, I really got this feeling like I don't want to drink again. There's what am I looking for? I had this feeling like I didn't need any more medicine, and I was making peace with that in myself, rather than getting caught up in I'm doing a ceremony a week, I'm here to do the work, I need another drink, getting what I've paid for, that kind of whole mentality, Western mentality. And all of this stuff around self-acceptance started coming through for me, and I was getting shown that the first step of this self-acceptance piece has been to create awareness around it, and the awareness of that being the journey that I've been on. But the medicine was saying to me, now you need to sit with it. Now you need to get to know this new version of yourself. And you also need just to go through every single area of your life and your being and create awareness and acceptance of all of that. And I kind of systematically went through all my physical attributes, my sexual organs, my body, my mindset, my emotions, all the good things about me, all the things that I'm more embarrassed about myself. And I had to, in order to fully accept yourself, you have to accept every single part of you. And like I said, even the good stuff, like I know I'm an amazing human being, and sometimes that's quite a difficult thing to admit out loud and to accept, but there was also that part within it as well. So yeah, the medicine was, like I said, really saying to me that now's the time just to sit with all of this and integrate. It's such a big foundational layer, this is, that we get caught up in the what's next, what's the grandest thing I can learn, what's the biggest next new cosmic insight that I'm gonna get coming to me. And the medicine was just like, no, this is your thing right now, this is your dharma right now. Is this like, now you've got this awareness of self-acceptance, you need to be with it, you need to sit with it, you need to allow it to land, and you need to let it permeate every single area of your life. And so that was a really, really beautiful moment, and I recognized that that's what my work is right now. And like I said, I didn't want to drink any more medicine at that point. I don't feel called right now to drink again this week, maybe not next week. It was like, I don't need to put myself through any more of these, for now, this difficult, challenging ayahuasca ceremonies. I need something a little bit lighter next, maybe. So mushrooms are what we're doing this week. And then it was just a case of just sitting with all of that for the rest of the ceremony, being by the fire with everyone, listening to some music. And then I was offered something called a, the name's gone out of my head now. Let me consult my notes. The name of it, the name of the plants totally left my head. Anyway, it was a cleansing ceremony done with a form of a nettle. The nettle is that they get a big long piece of the branch that's got, you know, nettle stings on it. It's also got some thorns on it, and you sit in your underwear by the fire. And Johnny the shaman was playing a harmonica, also humming and whistling and singing kind of shamanic songs. Whilst he's first of all, it clears your energy with some water, some kind of like agua de familia, and then gently stroking the nettles all over your skin. It was a really strange sensation. It stung a lot. And there were points where the little spikes would go into my hands, and I'd like shock like this. And the point of the ceremony is to bring about more circulation in your skin. And when he got to my head and he was putting them on my head, I could feel like my whole scalp was sort of stinging on fire. But I could feel energy literally flowing through my spine all the way up to my like crown chakra. It was quite an intense experience, actually, but it didn't take long for the stings to kind of settle down. And after they finished the ceremony, they kind of cleanse you, smudge you with some incense and everything, and then sat by the fire for a little bit, and actually could feel a faint coming on. I started to feel quite dizzy, and then sat down, and it went, and I was cool. And so that was the ceremony. You know, not huge amounts of craziness. That we had lots of rain again. Like I said, it was just reconfirming this very simple lesson for me of needing to sit with the self-acceptance, to explore it and to allow it to settle and sink into my being. And it was a pleasure, just a joy to be in this beautiful space and deeper into the jungle. So yeah, that's this week's update. So therefore, as was coming out of that ceremony, I felt I don't need to drink ayahuasca this week, maybe not next week. Called to the mushrooms. Holy moly. This week, tomorrow actually, we're going to be doing a mushroom ceremony, so I'm very much looking forward to that. It's going to be lighter, probably a bit more joyful, more fun. We start at 4 p.m, goes on till about 11 o'clock, midnight. So the mushrooms have kind of called me this week, and I've also been called to start connecting again with cacao. I bought yesterday. I bought like 250 grams of 100% cacao, which you can get here for just under £4, which is insane. In Ibiza, you're probably looking at €20 for 250 grams. So it's great to be out here in South America where they have all these amazing plants. So I'm just kind of connecting with cacao this week. I've got some here. Cacao is the medicine for the heart. It really feels like this week I'm to connect with my heart. I also finished my bracelet this week. Yeah! Mochila bracelet. And I made that with different green beads, which represent for me the heart, the colour of the heart chakra, the colour of the plants, the Amazon. And I've also got some new rapé as well, which contains cacao. So yeah, it feels this week like I'm really connecting with my heart. Again, taking that long journey from the head back down into the heart. I'm a philosopher, I'm interested in psychology and behaviour. I'm quite analytical, but I can spend quite a bit of time in my head because of that. So for me, the journey is also at the moment to come back into my heart a lot more. And I was also shown in a reading before coming here that that actually my journey in the Amazon and with plants is about connecting deeper to my heart, deeper into my being. So it's quite interesting that that's coming up now. So there we go. That's today's update. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope some of it might resonate with you. I'll give you a new update as I go on with the mushrooms, see what comes through for those. But yeah, the overriding message I think today is about when you're on some kind of healing journey, the first step of that journey is awareness, bringing awareness to the thing that you need to work on. And at that point, you don't need to get frustrated. You just need to be patient and know that once you've brought awareness to that thing, everything will start to unfold. That's the beginning of that part of the journey. So for me, the self-awareness, self-acceptance was the start, and now it's sitting with it all and allowing it to all just land. Had a beautiful night last night. We went to Johnny, who's the shaman. He invited us around to his house with some other friends. They played music. Enrico, who runs the retreat here, one of the co-founders, it was his birthday at the weekend, so it was a bit of a birthday celebration as well. We had some amazing food, had some fish, had a beer, had a cigarette. It was great. It was a really nice kind of night to reset. And like I said, I feel back to myself today. All the parts are back. And yeah, the journey continues. So much love from the Amazon. Peace out and double plant power.